All right, people, get in here. It is time to cover an election, a special election, the most specialist of all Tennessee elections. The one will dictate whether the world ends or does not end tomorrow. Or at least that's what they're going to tell us. This is a big one, guys. We've got the election results coming in right now, and I'll be real with you. It's not as amazing as the lefties thought it was going to be, but it's not as great as the Republicans want to be so far. It's still ongoing, and we're going to give you updates as we move forward on this pristine election coverage. We've got a little bit of lefties abandoning Jasmine Crockett with a little more reckless abandon, which is phenomenal and amazing. We have a little bit of the White House pulling their heads out of the sand and actually making some pretty solid moves. And of course, the election coverage, which we're going to do in real time because you guys deserve the very best. And if you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. The notifications, particularly today, were we're going to put those solidly in the category of need Jesus. So any of the sharing you guys do, liking, emojis, chats, comments, all of those things, it would be incredibly helpful. All right, let's get right into this, people. You came for the very best, and I aim to deliver. All right, so make sure the audio, the video is solid. Looks like it is. This is incredible. All right, listen, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a little bit of a special stream. I'm not going to do the special warm-up appetizer, hey, look at this idiot. I'm just going to dive right into the stuff. But I do want to say one thing that's really important. While you guys are here, understand that every generation, there is a broadcaster that can hold your attention. That is the chosen one, the one that delivers amazing commentary and analysis. And while you wait on that guy to show up, you can hang out with me. I promise we're going to have a good time. All right, just a little joke for everybody to jump in here. Listen, let me show you all the goodness. Watch this. And remember, the emojis, the chats, and the comments do make the world go around. I am going to hit it right here. First notification in days. Well, I'm glad you guys are back. Remember, let's put the obligatory comments in here. Comments, chats, emojis make the world go round. All right, it's in. We are good. That is going to be pinned to the top, and we are going to get rolling on this one, guys. Listen, we've got a special election to cover. Let me show you where we're at right this second, because this is as of 9/12. This is a live update on the New York Times. Here you go. You've got Matt Van Epps. This is the Republican. He is winning over Afton Bain, the progressive far-left AOC of Tennessee, by about 6.5 percentage points currently. It's going back and forth. I'm not going to really pay attention to that until later. 70% of the votes are in. All right, here's the important piece. I'm always going to bring you the important stuff up front. All right, see this right here? Boop. This one right here is what the New York Times is adjusting as the estimate for this race. Now, it is moving as it goes forward, right? Immediately when the polls started closing, they closed at, I think it was 7 or 8 o'clock Eastern time. And literally, the second they closed, lefties were on X and they were posting about how incredible the numbers were and how that. You're not going to know till it's over, okay? But I am going to bring you along for the ride. We're going to spend some time hanging out together. But here's the number that you need to see. This is the important piece. R plus 6.7 is what the results are. I just said the number I hate hearing my kids say. If you got kids, you understand. That 6.7 thing is stupid. Anyway, the latest estimate for the race is R plus 6.7. Now here is the important piece, and this is why the thumbnail says Republicans better pay attention. Right here. 2024 House margin was R plus 21. 2024 was R plus 22. Well, it doesn't take a genius to go 22, 21, 6.7. Again, it's not over. It could end up at 10. It could end up at 5. I don't know. But we're going to walk through this together. The whole point is you got a motivation problem, which we're going to break down. Because clearly, one side is more motivated to get out and vote than the other side is currently. And I'm not going to sugarcoat that. When these things happen, objectively, come here, they're feedback. It's simple. When something deviates, something happened. So therefore, adjust to that catalyst, and you'll be good. You got to start realizing that there is actually a active adjustment that needs to be taking place. And I think that they are starting to do it, candidly. I will always tell you objectively, but those two numbers, the difference right there, it's not over, but that's important. All right, let's back this out a little bit, and I'll even show you over here at the CNN election coverage. Get that out of here. Excuse me. Here you go. They're not really doing anything super special. They're just kind of doing normal stuff. That's not that important. Okay, I don't care about that. That's why I didn't pull CNN up. CNN stinks sometimes. All right, but this is it. This is on the New York Times, and it's linked in the description box below if you want to follow along and refresh as much as you want. Thank you for the emojis, the comments, and chats. Guys, you are awesome. See, and this is important. El Drewski over here in the chat says right now it's 8%, and it will deviate. I mean, it will adjust. It will roll. It will be in flux. This thing's going to keep moving. Like, for example, Matt just went down 0.1%. She went up 0.1. It's 75% of the votes in. Okay, I'm not going to go through this whole thing and say update. That's not my style. I want to give you guys the good stuff. I don't want to give you hyperactivity, ADD, and steroids. Okay, again, R.67. This is super. I'll get that a super chat in a second. But this is where you're at, guys. And we're going to come back to this in a second. I'm going to keep this going. I'm going to keep this right here. But I want to show you something to put this into a little context. Okay, this is not a. They're going to try to frame this as a referendum on anything conservative or Trump or MAGA or whatever. And there you go. Just more. It just went back up again for apps. I'm not going to keep on doing this. But they're going to try to frame this as because it wasn't R22, then therefore everyone hates Trump and everyone conservative. And they had a complete and total political mind shift and mindset shift from 10 months ago or 12 months ago. It's not going to be that, but that's what they're going to do. Anyway, here's why I say that. And this is important to bring you all the context. This account is actually, you know what? I don't even care about the Latinx part. That's a dumb statement. Let's go into here. Sandy Springs, Georgia. Now, this is interesting because I know a little something about Sandy Springs, Georgia. I actually grew up near here. Okay, so Sandy Springs, Georgia is not ruby red, is not crazy red, is not deep red. Sandy Springs is kind of like the purpley, lean, bluey rich people. That's what Sandy Springs is. There's a little bit of it, but I mean, like, it's not a ruby red district, and that's why I say that. There is the mayoral election right now, and this is one of those things that I need to show you. Rusty Paul is a Republican. Dante Carter is the Democrat. As you can see, 72.8%. That's a Harris plus 23 district. It's breaking 72.8 for the Republican. I mean, like, again, all of these things are constantly in flux, and that's why I bring these things to you at such minute, fine details, because everything's always changing. See, I mean, look at that. Now it's R plus 7.1. Some people are saying plus 8 over here. This is important, but you have to understand you can't really ascertain what the main takeaways are until the whole thing's over. That's why the accounts I'm about to show you on X, while we go wild on live on X, which is the most daring thing a streamer on YouTube can do, is do that. Because genuinely, when I pull this up, you're going to see all the responses. Because my ex profile thinks I'm a lefty because I follow him all the time to give you guys content. Honestly. So anyway, let's keep on going. I'm going to do a little deviation to something that I think you guys will like. Let me hear you in the comments on this one. Because while we wait for those votes to count, who would be okay with this? U.S. House committee passes legislation abolishing lifetime tenure for federal bureaucrats. Now, this isn't the whole House. This is a committee. But why would this be a thing? Abolishing lifetime tenure for federal bureaucrats. Why would they need to be there for life? They're there to serve the country, not themselves. Right? That's the whole point. Quote, we represent the American people whose tax dollars we are stewarding, not union bosses engaged in collective bargaining against the American taxpayer. If you can't do the job, taxpayers shouldn't be stuck paying you forever. My Equals Act ends the absurd lifetime tenure of federal bureaucrats get after 1 year and forces real performance reviews. Did you guys know that? Right here, this little nougat. The My Equals Act ends the absurd lifetime tenure federal bureaucrats get after 1 year and forces real performance reviews. I'm sorry. How many of you in your jobs, wherever you are, whether you are retired, whether you're on a pension, whether you are still on a job, wherever you are in the work life cycle, how many of you, me included, worked for 1 year somewhere and then were guaranteed a lifetime tenure working for the federal government? What? I think I found the problem. Anyway, I hope that continues on out of the House. We'll see what happens, but that's a big thing. I mean, good Lord. I just tried to show you guys something, but it was whatever. You can read it. It's right here. I just swear, I can't wait for that really amazing broadcaster to show up I alluded to earlier, because that was rookie right there. There you go. My Equals Act ends the absurd lifetime tenure. Like, lifetime tenure? Good God. Good God. I think we might have found the problem. I think we pinpointed it now if we can only excise it. All right. We're going to jump over to Dana Perino. Dana Perino, of course, is one of the Fox News hosts. This is on the 5. She's talking about the wokeness that is taking over the left side of the aisle. And again, I'm going to give you an update on the actual congressional race in a second. But Listen to what she says, and this might sound familiar about the left taking over the Democrat Party. The parasite is becoming the host. You know, that whole thing we talk about? Yeah, watch this. Dana, take it away.
Actually, specifically not. Okay, I want to talk about this, though. I've said from the beginning, since Mom Donnie was on the scene, this is coming to a city near you. This is where the energy is. Whoever is in power in the White House typically has a hard time in that first midterm. AOC has figured out, okay, she's picking people. Matt Van Epps, you could not find a better candidate. He checks he's an amazing American, this patriotic guy. And he's willing to serve, and yet it's this close. I do think that he will win.
I hope he does.
But the fact that it is close is a warning sign to Republicans everywhere that this Democratic energy from the far left is not going to stop. And it won't be Jessica necessarily, but you'll have Democrats. Maybe Harold will say, she's not a real Democrat. No, like this is actually where the party is going. She campaigned with AOC the weekend before the election. That tells me that they're not worried about her.
Yeah, that's the thing, Jesse. I get the sense.
All right. That's the important point. I got to catch up with some super chats, and then I will follow up on Dana's point, because Dana is, I've always enjoyed Dana's analysis. I don't know why. It's always have. I think she layers it in very nicely. All right. Got a couple super chats to keep up with because you guys are amazing. Backitis said, shout out to Firearms Policy Coalition. Friend of mine won a Glock G19 COA from them. Badass 2A group that rocks. Okay. I like the FPC guys. Those are some pretty sweet dudes. I like that. All right, Jeremy Willis, 93, says, vote like you're 10 points behind every time. Yes, preach, scream it from the rooftops. If you can't hear me, let me get closer. Vote like you're losing, grind like you are losing, and count everything after you leave it all on the field. That is my standard operating procedure. The guys and the guys and gals, or the men and women who have been in this channel in my audience for a while know I've said that for 4 years now. Let me hear you in the comments if you remember. Let's keep on going, because this is all of it. It's all about the grind. Who's going to get out more? That's the whole point. Because I promise you, the left did not shift to the left in ideology. I'm going to show you that in 1 second. Gigi has got your back for a $2 super chat. It says, Democrats as sharp as a bowling ball. I like it. A little bit spicy, but not too much. Just enough to read on the internet. Roadrunner25 said, been watching you for 5 years now. Thank you, Roadrunner. Thank you very much for your patronage as well as your loyalty. Thank you for everything you bring to all of us. It is beyond my pleasure. Even though I'm not in Tennessee anymore, this will still affect my family regardless of the outcome. I mean, yeah, all of these elections have effects. I mean, like, that's the whole point. I completely agree. All right, now back to Dana's point. This is the thing, guys. I've been saying, and they're going to continue to do it, the far left progressives are going to keep on picking these Democratic candidates that are going to lose, but they're going to be virtue signal, purity tested, virtue signaled, purity tested, far left progressives. And they're going to attempt to take over the Democrat Party. And that is what you are actively seeing right now. In fact, they're going to get more share of a vote right now because of many factors, which I'm going to walk you through and give you an update in a second. And they're going to take that as, oh, they want us to be more progressive. Watch. Watch. All right, here we go. Let's do a little bit of a update. Turns out we are at 53.5 to 45.5. This is something we have been watching. R plus 7.7. As you can see, the number keeps on going. And that's the important piece. Now, R4, and this has changed the whole night. And I'm going to continue to update you because it's all over the place. Our forecast, according to the New York Times, thinks that Van Epps, the Republican, has more remaining votes than Bain is on track to receive 53% of the final vote. Now, if that is the case, we're looking at more than an R plus 7.7. If I'm in a perfect world, where we're looking at right now from my professional commentary analysis and Rush Baby experience, I would say we want to get that over an R plus 10 to salvage any kind of like sweat drops going down our brows. Just being extremely candid. If that stays at 7.7 or stays at 8, you're looking at a difference between 22 to 7.7. The left is going to very easily say, because I would do the exact same thing on the other side, they would say, oh, well, that's a 14-point swing or a 15-point swing. We're winning. We should keep on being far left, progressive, crazy obstructionist. And that's exactly what they're going to take it as. So we get this above R.10 or R plus 10, we're in a different conversation. That's now a bad day, not a horrible day. We get to 7.7 to 8, we're getting into a realm where it's like, oh, okay, we should probably have a meeting or 3. Now, this is the important piece. As I break this down, I'll keep on bouncing back and forth, and we will go out on X wild and live as your tour guide of the Safari of X. We're going to do it together. The bravest of exercises on YouTube. Here you go. Circles show margin for leading candidate in the ballots so far. As you can see, it's exactly like every other election in this nation. Nashville, the population center, has an outsized Democrat support, and everybody else has a Republican. It's really straightforward. Now, they were trying to break that Nashville into even bigger numbers and pick away everybody outside. They were really driving into the Nashville vote. They really wanted that Nashville vote to be bigger. Clarksville earlier was trending blue, but now it's red again. That's probably why they're saying he's getting 53% of the vote. But this right here, this is the really important piece as we scroll down right here. If you hear nothing from me, this is what you need to see right here. How the votes compare with Trump and Harris. You are going to see this plastered all over Facebook, all over X, all over YouTube, all over the media. This is going to be the graphic and the image and the analysis and the content that you're going to see over the next 2 to 5 days. Promise you. See those blue arrows to the left? Right there? All of these little doohickeys? That means that the population, according to the vote totals, went to the left. Now, here's the question that I'm going to ask you, and you guys jump in the comments and the chats. All of this is driven by you guys. Your engagement makes these videos go out. If you have that much movement, one of two things happened, and I'm going to run through both of them for you. I can't talk tonight. First one, you either didn't have Republicans show up, they just didn't vote. They weren't motivated, they weren't active, and they weren't activated, and they weren't grinding like they were losing, and they said, it'll be fine. And everything went to the left because there's an outsized population, which is motivated on the left, the Democrats, who out there, anything to do to defeat Trump, anything to do to stop fascism, anything to do to stop Nazis. Literally, that is the vote totals and the motivation to vote, okay? That happens every single midterm. And even Dana Perino, and I'm going to be candid with you guys, even Dana Perino, right here, said the presidents always struggle in their first terms. They always do. That is an objective fact because the other side is motivated. And in this case, you are looking at a leftward lurch, probably not because the second option, which is everybody in rural Tennessee decided that all of a sudden they weren't conservative, which they have been plus 22 for the last 10 to 20 years. All of a sudden they aren't conservative and they went far left progressive Democrat leftist, or they just didn't get out to vote. Y'all, I mean, honest to God, what do you think? You jump over here in the chat. Do you think, honestly, that all of those counties in the middle of Tennessee decided they were going to become progressive far left lefties? Or do you think they just said, nah, we got it, I don't need to vote? I mean, come on, what do you guys think? All right, let's keep on going back up here. I want to show you some other stuff. Let's get a little update to the situation. And see, I told you it was moving, it was wiggling. 88% of the estimated vote total has been reported in Tennessee. As you can see, that number has now shrunk. At R plus 6-2, you're going to hear a whole lot of the world is ending for Republicans. A whole lot of it. And candidly, in full transparency, if you go from 22 in the presidential 12 months ago to 21 in the House, and now you're at plus 6, there is a screaming problem, whether it's motivation, whether it is unification on the message, whether it is abandonment of your platform, whether it is promises, whatever it is, you got about 10 months to figure it out. Because there is the disparity right there. I'm not saying that they're going to lose, and I'm not saying that everything is, the Chicken Little sky falling thing. I don't do that. You guys know I don't do that. But objectively, you need to know sometimes you take a punch in the face to win the entire fight. And in this case, I'm going to give somebody a backhand because you need to figure something out. I'm just saying. Let's keep on going. Something's up. The post-mortem on this is going to be everything. Joshua over here says something incredibly important, plus Trump's not on the ballot. That is also a very valid point. That is a great add-in over there. Good job, guys. Susan Woodard says Republicans have consistently don't get out and vote these off elections. As you say, we need to vote like we're losing. That's exactly right. I mean, genuinely, that's what's happening. You're at 6.2. something like, as this continues, our forecast thinks that Van Epps has more remaining votes than Bain, on track 53% of the final vote. Still same thing. Estimate is R plus 6.2. If you're at 6.2, you have a problem. It's not a world-ending problem. It's kind of like you have like it's like you're burned over like 20% of your body. It's not like 100%, but it's significant. All right, let's keep on going. I got some more stuff for you. This guy right here. This is something that I'm going to fill the void while we wait some more votes to come in, because we are at 88%. We're going to figure out pretty soon, probably on this live stream, they're going to call it. But you have to understand, if there's a missing messaging, if the messaging is off, if something is wrong, if there's something that's not landing, you need to figure out how to do it right. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I said it in my video about 4 hours ago. J.D. Vance has a way of saying stuff that's real important. He addresses the affordability conversations that they consistently have. They've obviously identified that as the area the Democrats are going to hit, which, I mean, honestly, at this point, Ray Charles can figure it out. And then, and now you've got them talking about it. Watch.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's an honor to serve with this great team that you've assembled. And I just want to pick up on something you said, Mr. President, because you hit the nail on the head, that it is absurd that Democrats talk about an affordability crisis that they created and the people around this table work every single day to address. You'll hear a lot of statistics today. You hear a lot of statistics in our political conversation. I think the most important statistic for the American people is that under the Biden administration, the average American family lost over $3,000 of household income. And under the first 10 months of this Trump administration, they have gained over $1,000 of household income. What that says very clearly is that we are fixing the problem that Joe Biden and the Democrats created in the last administration. If you look at every affordability crisis that's confronting the American people today, it is traceable directly to a problem caused by Joe Biden and congressional Democrats. Why did...
All right. This is a really important piece, and I'm going to flip over to this real quick. I'll come back in a second. This is the important piece. You have to articulate the problem. You have to have something that motivates people and gives them a why and gives them a reason to be part of something bigger than themselves and makes them get up off the couch and vote. J.D. Vance seems to have that locked in. Now, it's very obvious that over 4 years, we had a pretty bad economic system with a hangover from COVID and the Biden administration, which was egregiously bad. And now you got 10 or 11 months in, J.D. Vance is going, yeah, it's affordability. That's why, in my opinion, they're pivoting and they're shifting. Again, it's just my opinion. You guys can tell me what you think right over here in the comments in the chats. But they are lowering gas prices. That's starting to hit the news all over the place. Below $2 in a lot of areas. 92% of the vote coming in. Then they've got the Black Friday record, $11.8 billion, 9.1% increase from the prior year. I mean, like, there are lots of green shoots. There are. And you know what? People have got to feel it. That's going to be, honest to God, my perfect analysis. If any Republican is watching, people just have to feel it. Things have to get better. That's it. Continue doing what you're doing. Have the banger year. There you go. But the rhetoric and the constant saying you're going to do something, people are in pain now and they are feeling pain. So they need to feel some sort of alleviation of that issue. Anyway, got some really good comments right over here I just saw I want to catch up on. Hold on. Dan Kinzel says every Republican needs to use this talking point for 2026. I genuinely think that you will. I genuinely think that you will. Carrie Oak, man, I got a lot of JD fans over here. By the way, JD Vance, we're going to see this in our stroll through X while we're waiting on the numbers. JD Vance is dominantly the heir apparent, just letting you know. Plastic Flamingo says, once again, it's on the backs of Gen X. Gas is at 215, says 3 to go Trump. The Hill says Epps 1. Okay, let me just refresh the New York Times, because I do genuinely like the New York Times a little bit more, but I will go to X. 6.5%. Yeah, it's the same thing. It looks like, I mean, I don't think he's going to lose. I genuinely don't. I never thought he was going to lose the whole time, but this margin difference is going to be the big scalp that the Democrats run away with. That's what they're going to try to do. Let's see if this got updated. Then I'll go back to JD. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Then we'll do a little live. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to do a live X stroll. There you go. More of the same stuff. Shift in margin. Trump versus Harris. Everything's going to the left of Harris. So you can say that's really bad reflection on Harris, or you can say it's a bad reflection on the Republicans. Honest to God, my honest opinion, because you guys don't come here for my fluffery. The honest opinion is you had a shift to the left, a resistance of the incumbency. That's what I think you had, and you had unmotivated Republican populace. That's what it looks like to me. But we'll find out here in a second. Where'd it go? 92%. There we go. All right, back to JD Vance, because again, I want you to hear this. If you didn't hear it on my previous video, this is a really great segment.
Homes get so unaffordable because we had 20 million illegal aliens in this country taking homes that ought by right to go to American citizens. Why did tax bills get so unaffordable? Because Democrats were raising taxes while congressional Republicans under the president's leadership, we're now cutting taxes. Why did food get so expensive? Because we printed trillions of dollars and threw it into green scams that made our agricultural economy suffer while Americans were paying higher prices for food. On every single one of those issues, Mr. President, I think we've made incredible progress. But it would be preposterous to fix every problem caused over the last 4 years in just 10 months. I think that we've done incredibly good. But what
All right, this is an incredibly important point. Again, back to those Republicans, if you happen to be watching, and if you are, share with your other Republican friends, like, the politicians, you guys, the House members, the senators, maybe? I don't know. Someone in the administration? I can dream. Listen, that's a great point. It is preposterous to expect the entire economy to do a complete and total U-turn in under 10 months. Don't ever say that again. With love. Because that sounds like excuse language. Everything in here was awesome. And that's a very valid point. It's very, very true. But you still can't say that. Focus on the plan that you're laying out. Focus on everything that you're going to do forward. Focus on expectations, short-term goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Little SMART goal action for you corporate people out there. But do that. Don't do that other part. Lay it out, show progress on a plan, and follow it just like you would expect anyone else to. You will see results, but people have to feel what you're doing. It comes down to feels. We're humans. We're not robots, unfortunately. It'd be a lot easier if we were robots, but we're not. All right, super chat from Tammy Jones, $20 super chat. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you. She said thank you, and I said thank you. We both said thank you. You know what? You get a heart. Thank you, Tammy. All right, let's keep on going, guys. We've got a lot of stuff. You know what? Before we go on our X stroll, because God knows how that's going to go, here you go. We are at 92% of the estimated vote totals, and of course, we are still keeping updates on this. 52.2. Go back down here, 6.9. It looks, this is a preliminary estimate. Do not hold me to this. It looks like you're going to end up right around R plus 7-ish. The estimates that I was seeing were going to be like R plus 8. So R plus 7, you get a House seat, you take notes, you do a postmortem, and you seriously don't stick your head in the sand on this because this is important. All right. The big difference here, of course, if you guys are just now tuning in, this is the whole point. 2024 presidential plus 22. 2024 House margin plus 21. Right now 6.9. That doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out something's up. So figure that out, and we'll move forward, and we'll avoid the impeachment palooza that would come in the next November and the next Congress if that were to happen. And on top of that, I don't want to deal with 4 or 2 more years after that of impeachment, obstruction, and really annoying stuff. And then I have to live in the executive branch because the executive branch is kind of shitty. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, let's keep on jumping in. Okay, it's time. It's time, people. The comments, the chats, the emojis. As we do the most daring and bold thing any broadcaster can do on the planet, open up my X feed on live, YouTube streaming. For me, it says, let's see what you have for me. Let's go up here. Let's go around here and see what the lefties are popping off on. Okay. Yep, we know that. Yeah, okay. Now, this is a race call. This is per redistrict. Van Epps wins. Okay, that is not truly surprising. We've been covering this. Decision desk headquarters, he has won the race. Okay, this is good. Now we're getting to the important part because honestly, I didn't really care about watching the race. I care about the postmortem, which is where we actually save the country. For the love of God, pay attention to that part. Matt Van Epps wins. Okay. JD Vance is clearly the heir apparent. That's what he's saying. Anna Paulina Luna, Van Epps. Yeah, and I'd be careful before I started banging that drum too loud. Because honestly, oh God, see guys, this is when I see stuff like this, I really pay attention to the verbiage and the tone. I really pay attention. I like following Eric Dougherty's stuff. I think it's Dougherty actually, Dougherty stuff. But listen to this. Breaking. Trump endorsed Matt Van Epps wins Tennessee's 7th congressional district special election, defeating Afton Bain, Democrat. This will make the Republican U.S. House majority 220 to 213, up from 219. Let's go. We needed to win this. See, that right there, and we're going to come back to this in a second. We did need to win it. But hello. Objectively, am I glad we're at 7.2? Yes, I'm glad we're at 7.2. Am I also sad we're at 7.2? Yeah, I'm also sad we're at 7.2. Because that indicates that people either didn't vote or they went extreme far left, and they didn't go extreme far left in Middle Tennessee. They just didn't vote. I mean, that's what it sounds like. But anyway, let's keep on going. So there's that one. We did need to win that, but it just doesn't sound cute. Here you go. See, Brian Krasenstein, far lefty. Guys, we're just doing this live. Tennessee, 7th House special election results. This is obviously an older post from an hour ago. If Bain comes within 10 points of her Republican opponent, this is incredibly bad for Trump. You can already see the talking points all night. God, tomorrow is going to be so many clips. And we're going to cover all of it, and we're going to make the far lefties cry with our analysis. I don't really care about that. Mine's better. All right. Yeah, Tommy Lauren says the same thing. I believe Matt Van Epps will win. This should be a landslide, and if it's not, it's a wake up call. Yeah, it's a wake up call. That's exactly what it does. I mean, honestly, I'm going to take the win, but we're also going to grind in the next 12 months to prevent that from happening anywhere else. Okay, 6.77, and again, you're going to see this exact same graphic right there. This is the important piece, guys. So keep on hitting that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. I've got a super chat to catch up with. You guys are incredibly generous, and I thank each and every one of you guys, trying to bring you the most cutting-edge commentary, analysis, and entertainment that I can, all in one stream while producing and being on camera. I would love a JD Marco ticket. That one is going to get you some spice, Lisa. I'm going to be honest with you, that's a super chat for $2. A lot of people love them some JD Vance. A lot of people like them some Marco. A lot of people don't like JD Vance, and a lot of people don't like Marco. I'm going to be honest with you. You got that establishment thing. You got that finance thing. There's a lot of reasons that you're going to hear a little bit of spice on that one. I personally think it would be a strong ticket, but, yet to see how it goes. There's a lot of ground between here and November of next year. Sean Browning, 616 with a $5 super chat. Please, Lord, GOP, wake up and keep the foot to the metal and take back America. See, Sean, that's what's up. I love that super chat. Thank you, guys. You get a heart, actually. Hold on. Boom. You get a heart, Sean. Thank you very much for the super chat. You guys are incredible. We got 2,900 people in here, and this is incredible. Thank you. Jimmy Morris, 7060 with a great chat over here. They say, at Langley Outdoors. That's me. This is what pisses me off with the Republicans, way too quick to pat ourselves on the back. Honestly, we should have won this by another 22%. Jimmy, you're not wrong. You're not wrong in any way, shape, or form. I dare say you are correct. Grind like you're losing. Vote like you're losing. And I said this in an earlier video. Y'all, think of politics and think of the direction of this nation as a football game, okay? When Team Blue takes it all the way to the 10-yard line, and every one of us is scrambling to hold the line, and we block them on a dive to go into the touchdown zone, and we get the ball back, and by the ball you mean House, the Senate, and the White House, you don't stand there on the 10-yard line and just do stupid stuff and kneel the ball. You try to get it down the other side of the field, because that's when it's going to make it even harder for them to get back to where they were. That's the entire point. But for some reason, to Jimmy's point, there's a lot of people that genuinely say, hey, we won, and then they go to sleep. And that is a Republican phenomenon. Democrats do it too, but Republicans do it a lot more. It's just a natural inclination of I'm looking at something else right now. And I can show you that in a myriad of different ways. But let's get back to this. Thank you for that comment. That was a great one. Super chat from Fliegerman says, is voter ID required in Tennessee? I believe, do not quote me on this, I believe that it is. I can always check, though. Nashville is indeed blue. That is correct. Just refreshing my chat. The comments, the emojis, the chats, guys, keep them coming. We are going to go back to the left and right here. I'll do all these longer clips with you guys tomorrow. There's going to be a bunch of good ones. A lot of this stuff is kind of whatever. Yeah, no matter what happens, another reminder, every vote counts. And that's coming from a lefty. Absolutely true. We're going to do a refresh. I want to see what everyone's saying as we keep on going through this. Okay, this is an interesting one. This guys, you're seeing me do literally my video prep in real time. You're watching me do it. Just in, Republicans stormed to the polls on Election Day, ensuring psycho, anti-Christian, pro-abortion Afton Bain just lost in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. Multiple reports have come in indicating a huge GOP swamp of the vote after Trump got involved. Democrats thought nationalizing this election would work, but it backfired. The GOP will need to vote early in bigger numbers in 2026. Bring this energy to the election in the weeks leading up into the midterms. Okay, I'm here for it. I like the energy. I like the win. I like the swamping. I like Trump getting involved. I like Johnson getting involved. However, honestly, we're at 8 points. We're not at 22. We're not at 17. We're at 8. So while it is good. I am not throwing ice cold water on a win. I'm not. I am glad there's a win here. However, we need to start piling on that. That's got to be bigger than that. All right. Super chat for Real Not Fake, $5, says, DeSantis for president, 2028. DeSantis has earned his stripes. Vance, not so much. I'll be honest with you, Real or Not Fake, right now, J.D. Vance is the heir apparent, but like 64%. I mean, anything can change, and I'm in Florida. I love me some DeSantis, but genuinely, he's at 64% nationally. Lisa Osler with a $2 super chat. Not afraid to speak my mind about all about spicy. All about that spicy, I think that what it meant. All right, let's keep on going. Let's see what else is happening here. Of course, there's the projected win, and I want to be really, honest with you guys for a second. Come here. We're gonna keep on doing that in one moment. I told you this morning on my short that the Democrats put themselves into a position that it was going to be a win-win-win no matter what scenario happened. And here's what I mean by that. She gets absolutely destroyed and rocked in an election, right? Say it goes red 22, 21, 20, nothing changes, right? In that case, she goes, oh, well, it was a deep red, ruby red district anyway. No loss, no harm. We weren't supposed to win. Then you had scenario 2, which is what actually occurred. Scenario 2 is you get like a win between 7 to 9%. And when you get that 7 to 9%, it's down from 21 or 22, and the Democrats will go, huge shift. That means that everything in the midterms on the purple seats are all going to go to the team blue. That's what they're going to say. And then on the other scenario, you've got blue wins, which is like a huge upstate political earthquake. The world is ending, blah, 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 blah. But right now, it's going to be a whole lot of, this is an indicator of what's to come 12 months from now. That's what you're going to hear, because we're in the middle scenario. But they set themselves up for that, okay? This is the behind-the-scenes stuff. This is why I try to give this stuff to you incrementally as it's dropping, because that's what they're doing. All right, here we go. This is Chris D. Jackson. This is an account on X that, no, I'm not kidding with you guys. This is an account that was constantly fighting about Biden being perfectly fine and saying that anyone who said he's bad on the Democrat side is an ageist and just hated Biden and wasn't a true Democrat and all. I mean, it was like, whoa, okay? Van Epps will probably win by about 5%. Currently, it's like 8%. But that is a massive red flag for Republicans. This is a district they carried by 22 points just last year. If the margin collapses this far, it becomes the closest federal race in Tennessee since Harold Ford Jr.'s Senate run in 2006. Guys, it's exactly where that's where they're going to go. It's not even a question. But this is actually interesting. That margin is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Now it's 8.5. I would love to see that into 10. We get that at 10, okay, we can have a conversation. But below 10, sub 10, that's going to be a bit of a harder conversation. Guys, it's adjusting. This is why I'm covering this for you, so you can see what's happening on the ground. Everything is shifting to the left. Now, you can say, and this is all based on vote totals compared to Harris to Trump, okay? You can say that's because people didn't get up and vote, and because they just didn't vote, it made it look like everything shifted to the left. You could also say that everyone wanted to decide to go from a Republican conservative MAGA candidate to a far left progressive. I hate Nashville. I hate Tennessee. I hate country music. I hate everything. And by the way, I work with communist candidate. Okay, which of those two is more likely? Well, I'll tell you, the one that's more likely is that people didn't go out and vote, which made the margins look bigger than they are. That is literally it. Now, I want to show you something else here, and that's at least my opinion. Again, we're still at 8.4% plus red. So what's fascinating, and you can mark this down right now, and I'm just predicting this. I'm using my Nostradamus abilities. Harry Enton, I covered this video for you guys. From Florida to New Jersey to Virginia, all the races in between, he has picked out that there's about a 15-point difference between Kamala Harris and the elections. The overperformance of Democrats outside of Kamala Harris. Ironically, you're actually pretty close to that 15 number. You're at 14 right now. So if you've got a 15 consistent pattern showing up, that's going above Kamala Harris's margins, and Trump is not on the ballot, you better be delivering. You better be delivering something. Just being real and transparent with you. Real. All right, let's keep on going on this X safari, because again, the most dangerous thing you could ever do as a YouTube creator. Let your X feed roll. All right. Yeah, not a good result for them. Again, they're going to consistently do this. They're going to dress up the loss as a big win. That's exactly what we would do. I mean, objectively, that's exactly what we would do. It's what I would do. Me and my people, anyway. Regardless of who wins, it's a terrible night for Donald Trump and the Republican Party. I mean, and there's a lefty. Afton's now ahead. Nashville. Yeah, she lost. Oh my God, these lefties, man. These lefties. There's that same Sandy Springs thing I showed you earlier. Okay. All right, so I'm going to refresh this real quick because I got to go through these clips. I can't watch these clips in real time with you guys because I just can't trust them. I can't trust the people on CNN. They're not worthy. Yeah, I mean, that's the same. Fred, 7410, $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Fred. I appreciate the support. That one aged well. Democratic candidate for Congress takes the lead. Wah, wah. And she lost. See, I can still make fun of him a little bit. All right, here we go. Scott Pressler from The Persistence. This is Mr. Register Vote in Pennsylvania. Congratulations to Congressman-elect Matt Van Epps in Tennessee's 7th Congressional District. Republicans keep control of the House of Representatives plus one hold. Yep, it is a hold. Objectively, it is a hold, and that is half the battle. The other half was padding the margins a little bit, but listen, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, I'm actually doing this in real time. I'm doing it faster than they are. All right, 8.6. I really want that above 10. That'd be amazing. Actually, what was the vote totals? Hold on a second. How many votes are we in here? We are in 95. Okay, so we're rounding this out, and then I'll kind of break down the real-time analysis a little bit further for you guys. I'm just going to keep on rolling on X. We're just going to have some fun and hope to God it all works out. Because again, you never know what's going to pop up on X. It's like, whoa. All right, let's go ahead. Let's go up here and refresh a little bit because I want to see what they're saying. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Eric Erickson. This is I don't want to say he's an anti-Trumper. I don't want to say that. I want to say he's very traditional, established Republican. He doesn't like the new style. But looks like Van Epps will get a high single-digit win in an off-year special election the week after Thanksgiving in a district that is normally R plus 10. That's good, but notable that he avoided bringing up Trump. Okay. Come on. I mean, you're kind of looking for the fly in the ointment there. You're not even finding it on accident. Yeah, it shifted to the left. There you go. See, same thing. They're doing the same thing. We're going to cover all of this, and we're going to do it probably better than they are, to be honest. And that's not a benefit to me. That's saying they suck. Oh, let's see. Again, shift to the left. Yep. We covered that. Okay, lefties don't like Gretchen Whitmer because she touched Donald Trump. That's funny. Okay, there's something I didn't expect. Oh, man. Super chat from Guard Sellers. That's either Jared or Guard Sellers. I can't tell, but a $20 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. They said $5. I don't know why they said $5, but they did. Mitchell Ryan with a $5 super chat says, please do not forget this. It is a special election, not a midterm, and not a presidential year. Mitchell, that is an excellent point. I have said it many a time. We are in a special election. This is an off year. This is not even a regular thing. But it's going to be treated like it is the harbinger of things to come. That's why they poured millions of dollars into this race, because everyone wanted that trophy and that scalp. That's the whole point. But this is interesting. This is one of the most outrageous gerrymandering examples. Nashville doesn't have a representative. The Republicans gerrymandered Tennessee, so Nashville's cut like a pizza pie. Oh my God. You were better off saying the margins were small than complaining. Especially since Maryland and Illinois are the two blue states that are the most gerrymandered in the nation. Let's open that door again. I don't like that guy. All right. This is how an actual Dem base is consuming info about this election. That doesn't matter at all. All right. They're saying again. The Democrat didn't win. Stop it. Come on, get out of here. There's more Crockett campaign stuff they're throwing under the bus, which is absolutely hilarious. Okay, enough of this. Let's go back over here. There's nothing really good happening on X yet. I gotta go through all those clips to prepare all the BS-ery and get the filters for you, pick out what's the best for you guys, because I mean, honestly, there's a lot of crap. All right, let's see here. We got still that same vote total. We're at 8.6. He's won the race, it's called, but yeah, let's see, there's some more blue arrows. Listen, guys, I'm being candid with you. I know a lot of you guys, or a couple of you guys just said, make sure you mention it's an off-year election. It's absolutely an off-year election. Is it a week after Thanksgiving? It absolutely is a week after Thanksgiving. Is it a repudiation of Trump? I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. I can just tell you that most likely people just didn't get up and vote because they thought they had it. Because that's why you get a complete and total left lurch like this. So all those are the numbers of votes above and beyond Kamala Harris. If you guys are just now tuning in, this is. I'll get that super chat in a second, Jared. So again, everything lurched to the left, most likely not because of political alignment, most likely because voter motivation. Most likely. Guys, this is why I say you've got to vote like you're losing. You got to grind like you're losing. A win is awesome. Really, really great. We got 10 to 11 months to grind this thing into dust because these people are going to take this and they are going to make it in their entire referendum. And here's what the big math is going to be. This is going to be the big pitch to Democrats and donors and get the money flowing and all that. They're going to say that everything across the nation is shifting to the left. We've got to take the House back next year. They're not going to chase the Senate. The Senate is not going to be the prize jewel. The prize jewel, the crown jewel, the one they want is the House. The House can do the impeachments. The House can stop the agenda. The House controls the committees. All of it is the House. That's why the whole ball and wax is the House. That's why they're doing this. So what they're going to say is they're like, well, if we shifted 13 points to the left in Nashville, ruby red Nashville, that means the 25 seats that are purple and a couple of the other ones that are lean Republican are now vulnerable. So now we can take the House with a very comfortable margin and we can finally impeach Trump and stand up to fascism and Nazis, and then we can actually beat them because, Democrats, oorah, right? That's what you're going to see. And again, it all comes down to this. It's that. Personally, I do not believe that the Republicans all of a sudden became communists and socialists. I think they just didn't vote. I mean, they either weren't motivated, they thought they had it in the bag, they didn't know there was an election, or they just didn't care enough to do it, or they forgot. I mean, that's it. Good job for the people who went out there. And then there's the red versus blue. Of course, Nashville takes the entire thing left. But this one is not representative of everything. This one is. This is the one you want. This one just shows you what it did overall. This one shows you which state or which one went which way, right? The entire country went right in a big red lurch across the country in 2024. just so you know. All right, this stuff down here, nothing down there. Nothing important down there. That's not the important stuff we're here for. And I got a super chat at one more over here. Jared Sellers says, it's Jared, just spelled differently, but in regards to CNN earlier not being trustworthy, I always said CNN stands for Communist News Network. It kind of does. You get a heart for that. And it also stands for, it's interchangeable, Clinton News Network. That is also something that is an acceptable, viable alternative. All right, let's do one more perusal of the X, the most dangerous thing on YouTube. Let's go ahead and refresh this and hope to God it works out. All right, CNN doing their things. Yeah, let's just see what he says.
Look through the map, you could see a progression to where Matt Van Epps can hold on. I can also give you a scenario, though, where the Democrat Afton Bain wins. But the fact that we're talking about this race at 9 o'clock at night in the East on this night, a special election, tells you everything you need to know. Republicans are going to be nervous even if they win this seat because Matt Van Epps is leading this race right now, but by less than a point. Less than a point, Caitlin. Let's just say he stretches that out a little bit, right? Okay. But just a little more than a year ago, on quaint little day, November 2024, Election Day, Mark Green, the former incumbent in this congressional district, won it by 22 points. The man who sits in the White House, Donald Trump, won it by 22 points. So to your point about Democratic overperformance, or you might call it Republican underperformance, as we watch what has happened this year in Virginia, in New Jersey, in Pennsylvania, in Mississippi, in Georgia, and elsewhere, in special elections and big statewide elections, Democrats are
Yeah, I didn't mean to click it. Whatever, you get the idea. This is what they're going to be doing the whole time. Republicans will be nervous. Honestly, here's the thing. If you feel nervous, get up and vote. Like, do it. Vote like you're losing. But honestly, in all transparency, they're going to do some post-mortem stuff. They're going to do some breakdowns. It's going to be the Republican talking head's going to say one thing, the Democrat talking head's going to say the other, and then they're going to have a battle for the next 12 months. I mean, like, I look forward to walking through the entire thing. But the Democrats genuinely they have to get the House, and if they don't, they are toast. Oh my gosh, Clockett with Crockett, I would rather vomit. Oh my God, no way. Watching her on a live stream, psh, please. All right, yep, he won. Okay, he won. Yeah, it's all about Republican drop-off and blah, 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 blah. Okay, you guys get the general idea. Here's the thing. Let me close with this. You gotta win for New York Times. You got to win across the board. The Republican won the race. That is pure and simple. That is it. The margins are not where you needed them to be. They are good, but they're not what they were. This is going to be the conversation piece, and I'm going to wrap this up for you right here. It's going to be, they were R plus 22. They were R plus 21. Now they're R plus 8.5. They're going to say Virginia. They're going to say New Jersey. They're going to say New York. They're going to say all of these states that all lurch to the left, right around the same number, between 12 and 15% change. That's what they're going to do. That's objectively what's going to happen. You're going to see lots of focal point on this graphic right here. Everything moved to the left. You're going to see a lot of that. And then you're going to see this a little bit, not nearly as much as this piece, followed up by this graph right there. Now, this is actually interesting. This is new data. I was waiting on this stuff to come through, and then we'll kind of surmise this. As you can see here, the shift from 2024 presidency, this column right here, boop, that column is what everyone's going to be chasing. The shift, these are all counties. One went left 10, one went left 20, one went left 7.5, one went left 11, one 12, and one went left 7.8. Collectively, off the top of my brain, that is roughly 12, 11 points average to the left. So that falls in line with CNN's Harry Enton, who says it's a 15% shift to the left. So if you're seeing these things, all of these things collectively, right, then you are going to have a postmortem. You're going to have to figure out the messaging. You're going to have to figure out what you're going to do, get some results on there, start sounding the board, and just banging the drum, because it looks like you've won, but you didn't win by what I would consider a repudiation of the left. This was going to give them a little bit of wind in their sails. They're still going to cry and moan, but that's what they're going to do. That's what's going to happen. So in wrapping this live stream right here, and I will be here tomorrow when I break down all the commentary, analysis, and talking heads, this is where you're at. Republican win. Could have won more. Glad he didn't win less. And overall, that's one more additional seat in the House. Go team. That's awesome. We're going to chalk that up as a victory, and we're going to move forward with the positive angle of saving our country together. And listen, I hope each and every one of you really enjoyed this live stream. This is a little bit different. These are not normal shows, but I like to do them. They're a lot of fun. So let me know what you think in the comments, the chats, and the emojis. Got a super chat from Nick and Dizzy Bunny. $10 super chat said, I'm shadow banned on TikTok because I post Republican content. That is facts. That's why I'm not on TikTok. They've straight up told me it's because of my political views. I can't even join most campaigns. Yep, but you can join YouTube and be the subscriber, and we've got so much stuff coming for you, Nikki and Dizzy. We are here for you. But that is something that is part of your cross to bear, because being the correct side doesn't necessarily mean everyone likes you. And with that, I love each and every one of you just the right amount that makes you feel comfortable. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure you got that notification bell turned on, because today's notifications were trash pandas. But that's neither here nor there. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're going to wrap this stream, and I will see you guys on the next one. I'm Braden. Take care.